What is up, everybody? It is Tuesday night. I think it's Tuesday night. I'm not even sure actually what day it is. Welcome, everybody, to the Captain's Quarters. I myself am the captain, Captain Chuckles. And tonight, we have a very special guest. And earlier today, I found out that this is this gentleman's first podcast. So please, everybody, welcome our special guest. You might have seen him in a number of places. NewSouth, Action, Paradigm, OWA, TWE. He was at SCI Futures. He's been at SUP. Please welcome the Locksmith, Brandon Williams. Sir, thank you for joining us.
Hello, everybody. Thank you.
So it's Tuesday night. We're here. And we're going to start it off how we always start all of our things off. We want to know, and this question intrigues me even more just because of all of the stuff that is behind you. And we talked about it briefly before we went live, but what was a young Brandon, the Locksmith Williams, like growing up?
Oh, man. Young Brandon was into, obviously, lots of toys, X-Men. I probably didn't get into wrestling and probably until maybe like fifth grade. And that was probably around 97, 98. So before that, it's all just pop culture, man. Ninja Turtles, obviously all the kids, favorite stuff. But yeah, whenever I found out about wrestling, it was pretty much like obsessed with wrestling from then on out.
Now, were you into sports growing up? Did you play anything before you got into wrestling?
I did not, honestly. I played ninth grade football, but I think I just joined football to try to get in better shape at that time. I literally never watched football, so I got into it for the wrong reasons, but obviously I like football a lot now. I got into it way at a much older age, but yeah, never any sports or anything.
And I'm guessing, I'm just gonna guess your team is the Las Vegas Raiders.
That is correct. Yes.
Interesting.
It's a tough season, man.
But I feel like the Raiders had a lot of tough seasons going. I'm a Bears fan.
Yeah.
I'm a Bears fan myself, and we've had a lot of tough seasons. So I know how that whole thing goes. How did you get to cheer for the Raiders?
I used to live in San Jose, Oakland area for a couple of years. So my dad lives out there, and I used to help do merch with a hardcore band out there. So yeah, I just picked up an NFL team. Everybody liked NFL. Nobody really liked college. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to start watching Oakland. And it's been about 10 years. So I've been following them for about 10 years.
Did you ever see a game at the Oakland Coliseum?
I did. Yes. It was fun. I mean, the fans are intimidating, but I was an Oakland fan, so I can see why the opposing teams didn't like coming there. But yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. If you're cheering for the Raiders, right, you're okay. If you're cheering for anybody else, I mean, I've been to some pretty nasty arenas as a visitor. I can only imagine what it's like in Oakland.
Oh, yeah, for real. I went to a game in Nashville, Oakland and Nashville. It was fun, too. And Oakland won, so we got booed out of there. So.
Sorry, my daughter literally scared the shit out of me.
Sorry.
What do you want? You are taking away from time with Brandon Williams. You scared the shit out of me.
I came down here and I stood quietly. What more do you want?
Oh, not to scare me. Good grief.
I thought you were aware of me. You hardly look at me.
Oh, man.
No.
Like more time, please.
I will get you more. I will get you more time on your phone.
No need to be aggressive.
Jeez. Brandon, I am sorry.
Oh, you're good.
I am sorry. My daughter apologizes too as she storms upstairs, wondering why I didn't give her more time on her phone tonight.
Parenting. You gotta love it, man.
Right? Exactly. Oh, man. Talk about Christopher with the jump scares and the sounds that he has. I did not even see her come down here. And like out of the corner of my eye, I heard her say something. Out of the corner of my eye, I heard her say something. That makes absolutely no sense. Anyway, now, recently I've seen on Twitter people talking about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You mentioned that was one of the things that you remember from growing up. Now, who was your turtle?
Donatello, for sure.
Why?
I think I like the color purple, man. Like easy stuff. I know that sounds it's not a really complex answer for a little kid, but that's probably why I picked it.
It makes sense. I
Right.
see, and I was a Michelangelo guy
Okay.
only for the reason of when I was growing up, I took karate and we had birthday parties at the studio, and I actually would have to dress up like Michelangelo in a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle suit.
That's pretty rad.
So it was kind of cool. I liked it, but that's really the only reason why I like Michelangelo.
Nice. I can respect that.
Okay.
Man. I like that.
So now you got some Star Wars back there.
That's correct.
Are you a big Star Wars fan?
Yes. I'm not a fan of the new ones. At least the last two.
So
I'm not a
you're
big
talking
fan.
about 8 and 9 then.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. The Force Awakens, I actually really like that film, man. Like, I know it's more of a nostalgia flick, but I liked it. The other two, man, I just have high hopes, man.
I think all Star Wars fans had real high hopes for those movies, and I am on the fence of it's Star Wars and I love it. I don't really care. I just love
Sure.
to watch the stories.
You're
I
right.
mean, yeah, there are things that aren't good. There are things that I would definitely want to have changed
Right.
and everything. Things that kind of don't make sense and, you know,
Right.
all that kind of stuff. But I feel like that's been the whole gamut kind of Star Wars, even from the original 3 in a
No,
way
you're right.
sometimes.
I like
Now,
the
what
prequels. Like, I was actually a fan of the prequels.
interesting. See, now when
Right.
that was going to be my next question. When you said
Yeah.
that you didn't like the last 2, I was going to say, well, what were your thoughts on the prequels then?
I liked them for what they were. You know, I was expecting a George Lucasy Star Wars, so I like the feel of them. Now, I'm not a fan of George R. Binks, but you know,
Nobody
it
is.
is what it is. Like, it's campy, but
Now I don't know how deep dive you go into the Star Wars lore,
right.
but where do you side on Jar Jar Binks actually being a Sith?
Oh yeah, evil for sure, man. Like, I went down that rabbit hole, man. Like, evil for sure.
Right? Like he was just there to screw everybody.
Right.
And
I need that on Disney Plus. Like, where are we at? And like,
the whole dumb Jar Jar is just it's
right.
just an act. It's
Right.
just an act. Okay. See, okay. So still on the prequels.
Okay.
Thoughts on Hayden Christensen? Did you like him? Did you not like him?
Very stale acting, but I don't know. Like, I don't hate the guy. You know, like maybe this new series, like they'll with a better director, maybe they'll push him more. Like, there's got to be a reason they brought him back, not just because obviously he played him, but I don't know, man. He's not terrible, I guess.
Now, if anybody in the chat is not hip as to what Brandon is talking about, we're talking about the Kenobi series
Right.
that is supposed to come out on Disney Plus at some point in time. Ewan McGregor coming back as Obi-Wan Kenobi, and they are also bringing back Hayden Christensen to do his part as Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker. So for all of you Star Wars nerds out there, if we have any, that is what we're talking about right now.
Correct. It's in this massive pile of random DVDs from my adult teenage years somewhere.
Nice.
Over here.
Now the next thing on the wall, X-Men.
Yes.
There's a lot, but who
Yes.
is your favorite X-Men character?
As a kid, probably Gambit. I was a big Gambit guy.
Christopher also is a Gambit fan.
I like Gambit a lot. I like Wolverine, obviously, you know, but I liked Gambit a lot. Yeah, for sure.
Are you mad that Gambit never really has a bigger role in the movies?
Oh yeah, like who played him in the movies? Was it Channing Tatum, right, or something?
That I don't know.
It's
Christopher, if you know, let us know.
It's that forgetful, if that makes sense. So like, Yeah, they haven't done it justice. The last few X-Men movies have been pretty bad. Days of Future Past ruled. I liked it a lot. Apocalypse, yeah, has its parts, but the last one, it's terrible, man. Like, I'm glad there are X-Men movies, but hopefully we get some new ones in the MCU. Hopefully.
Now, if you were gonna cast, who would be your perfect Gambit?
Oh man, that's hard, man. That's really hard. Uh, I don't know, man. I would have to go with some unknown Australian actor, man. Go off the grid.
There
Um,
you go.
who you got? Give me somebody.
Oh shit, man! I would have no
Right.
idea.
I know that's hard, man.
It is. Like even like and I'm a huge Thanos fan, and
Right.
I mean now with Thanos, it's not just a guy. You have to CGI somehow.
Right.
And I love what they did with him in the movies, but I don't know if I would have picked
Right.
Pierce. No,
Brolin.
God,
Josh
yeah, James
Brolin.
Brolin.
Yeah, I like see Brolin was good as Thanos. I didn't like him as Cable in Deadpool. Like, I love the actor. I think they could have got somebody else.
True.
Deadpool's good.
Have you seen the movie Red Notice yet on Netflix?
No, I have not.
Okay, definitely watch it. And
Really?
for everybody, that's with The Rock and
It's good.
I liked it. Yeah, I really did like it. It's with The Rock and Ryan Reynolds.
Yes.
And my wife was like, "Man, why does Ryan Reynolds play the exact same guy
Oh, hey,
in
that's his
every
trick,
single
man.
movie?"
Yeah, ever since Two Guys and a Girl. Like, did you ever watch that show? Two Guys and a Girl
Yes.
in a pizza place.
Yep.
He has the same shtick like every time. It works. I mean,
And I brought up to her, and I know, yeah, we're supposed to be talking about sports. We're supposed to be talking about wrestling, but we talk about
I'm a nerd,
everything
man.
here.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
We talk about everything here, everybody in the chat. But see, now I brought up to her, I said, well, I don't really think he's that guy in The Proposal with Sandra Bullock. And she's like, no, he definitely is. And I was like, I don't know.
Not as much. He does have the romantic comedy parts where it gets serious, but he'll have the comedy. But it's not his same shtick though. In that one,
Yeah,
I can kind of see that.
That's what I was trying to get across to her. Okay.
Yeah, I can go on about all day about this. Yeah, let's.
I agree. I mean, I love just the anything goes aspect, of, and especially with your room. There's so much. I mean, Gremlins,
Yes.
classic movie.
Yes.
Now, and the only reason I'm even mentioning this is because I got done watching a movie on HBO the other day, and I was like, I need something to watch, like to go to sleep. I'm like, what's on here? It's like I go down to the More Like This, and Gremlins was on there, and I was like, I could get down with some Gremlins. I'm like, it's about Christmas time. Like that movie took place around Christmas. Like, let's do it. My wife goes, hey, does anybody have Critters? And I was like, ooh. Okay, I'm like, let me go check and see if anybody has Critters. So I was like, okay, HBO Max had it.
Oh, nice.
And we just finished it tonight. And it's like you don't realize how bad that movie is, but how good it is at the same time.
It is. It was so influenced by Gremlins.
Yeah, oh, 100%.
Yeah. And then you go a step below that with like Ghoulies and stuff like that, which are like so bad but cheesy. But I love stuff like that too, man. Like,
yes,
it has a place in my heart.
Now, do you have a favorite like horror movie?
Ooh, that's hard, man. I have tons. Like, I'm a big horror movie guy. Recently, I'm into like Hereditary, that type of stuff, the newer stuff. But I like slasher flicks. Like, I'm excited about the new Scream.
Did you think Hereditary was scary?
Not scary, but like
kinda suspenseful.
It had suspense, more psychological, creepy instead of like scary. That makes sense.
Yeah, I enjoy watching scary movies, horror flicks. A little bit of gore, but not like too crazy.
Right.
And like that was on everybody's like top lists. And I was like, okay, I'm like, I gotta watch this movie. And I watched it and I was like waiting for something and
Right.
like
Yeah.
nothing
Yeah.
really ever happened.
Right.
And I was like, I
Yeah.
don't understand why this is on people's like top tens.
It's I don't know if I'd throw in that kind of category of horror, I guess, really. I guess it's like somewhat like in the middle spectrum there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen Midsummer, but it's definitely not horror. It's definitely on more of a, I guess, like a cult horror kind of thing.
Okay.
Have you seen that yet? Midsummer.
No, I have not.
It's crazy, but yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
See, and I like that stuff, but like I liked all the oh my god, and my head just blanked right now. Like all the Ed and Lorraine Warren movies.
Oh yeah, that was good. God,
Good grief. Somebody in the chat tell me, because
it all runs together. It's not the Conjuring. It's is it the Conjuring?
no, yeah, it is The Conjuring.
It's
Yep.
The Conjuring. What's the other one like that? Has the same actor in it.
Annabelle.
Yeah, that one.
Annabelle
yeah,
too.
Yeah.
That whole thing. Yeah. So yeah, I really like that kind of stuff where it gets into like a little bit of that creepy,
Yeah.
you know, witchy type, you know, ghost type stuff and all that kind of stuff. I really like that.
Nice.
Okay.
Haunting on Hill House. Have you seen that Netflix?
No.
Really good, man. Like good stuff.
I'm gonna have to see. I'm gonna write that down.
Very
Chris
good.
always writes stuff down. I actually just type stuff down as we go. Okay, good. Got it. So now you mentioned you got into wrestling as a fan in the mid to late 90s.
Correct.
So what were you watching at that time?
Wrestling wise, I was more of a WCW guy at first because I wasn't into the I got in right before Attitude Era, so they were starting to push the buttons. But
Yep.
Yeah, I was more of a WCW guy early on, man. DDP was one of my favorites over there. I went to a show in Huntsville. But yeah, I think my dad took me to that, and that's when I really got into WCW then.
I remember growing up as a kid and watching TBS Superstation on Saturdays at like 6 o'clock, I think it was Eastern time, with my dad. We would just be sitting down going to dinner, and like he'd put WCW on in the background as like we were having dinner, and then I'd try to finish dinner as fast as I could so I could go watch wrestling. Like those Saturday early evening shows were always so much fun.
Oh, they were awesome, man. And then when Nitro started, I guess they changed their look and really got a like when Goldberg, I guess, started getting his push.
Yep.
Yeah, they were hot. Like I think it was '99. They were on fire then, and that's when I guess they were really having the Monday Night Wars. And it was, I mean, I try to tell people today like how big like wrestling consumed like culture. Like it's big now, but not to the size it was during then. It was crazy.
No, I
Everywhere.
mean, yeah, like when AEW first came out and
Yeah.
everybody was comparing what WWE was doing compared to what AEW was doing. And even before we started getting into interviews, like we had roundtable discussions about everything that was going on. And like I would always look and I'd be like, man, you know, like, yeah, a lot of people are watching wrestling, but they're nowhere near the numbers that both WCW and WWF, WWE had at the time. Like not even in the ballpark, and they're never going to be.
Oh no, you can ask random Joe on the street what NWA is, and they know it because, I mean, they were probably watching at that time.
Yep.
Where I mean, it consumed everything. And like, I have a whole bunch of TV guides back here, of just like, I mean, that's how much like, I mean, wrestling took over. Then to be on TV Guide and have multiple issues of different wrestlers and stuff, it was crazy.
Now, who were you backing in WCW at that time?
I was an NWO guy. but also like Sting. So there's that conflict there. But
Yep.
I like the Crow Sting. I never really got into the other Sting.
Okay.
But yeah, big NWO guy. I liked Hogan, Nash, Outsiders, all those people like that. I liked Saturn. Saturn was one of those underdogs I liked.
Harry
Being
Saturn.
Saturn and Malenko. But yeah.
Now, when the Monday Night Wars ended,
Right.
everybody kind of got folded into WWF, WWE.
Yeah.
Where being a WCW guy, where was your head at that time?
Oh man, like it was. I didn't read the internet stuff like that because I was probably like 12 or 13 years old at that time. So I didn't go on the boards and stuff. So I had no idea that this was going on. So I was literally watching it at my grandparents' house, and I saw that it happened, and I had high hopes. I didn't know about contracts that certain wrestlers had or why they couldn't appear and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, looking back, they missed the boat on the invasion stuff, but it had its moments. I enjoyed parts of it for sure.
Now I'm sure you delved into on the WWE catalog all the Monday Night Wars kind of mini series or doc series that they had.
Yeah.
Do you ever think there was a time that WCW could have been the one to take over WWF, WWE?
I mean, if there was a time to do it, it would have been when Goldberg, right when he hit his peak, man. Like, that was probably the biggest they ever got. Whenever Goldberg won the title on Nitro, I would say that they were probably more popular than WWF at that time. Overall, especially down here in the South. I don't know how everywhere else was, but especially here in the South, WCW, man, yeah, it was king. But obviously booking and stuff like that, like it got real bad at the end. Yeah. R.I.P. man.
Yeah, I know. I love WCW. Like I said, I used to watch it with my dad all the time. I grew up in New York, so I was like smack dab in the middle of WWF, WWE area. Right. But I mean, still on Saturday nights, I loved sitting down watching the Steiners. What, like, that was like my time of like when the Steiners were the Steiners. They weren't, it wasn't the craziness that we saw with a certain person that kind of went a little crazy.
Yeah, I'll say I've never been a fan of the Big Bad Booty Daddy, man. Like, I never was with it. Like, I just never bought the chain night thing. I was just, I don't know, man. I was a Steiner Brothers guy too, man. Like,
yes. Oh, okay. So, who was the person that caught your eye and said, I think I can do this?
Actually wrestle?
Yep.
No, I started no, I did backyard wrestling when I was young. So I tried to emulate stuff. Now I was big into hardcore wrestling. As you can remember, like hardcore wrestling was huge in the 2000s, like ECW, and just backyard wrestling in general. I mean, you can remember on like Dateline, they'd have documentaries on stuff of kids doing the stuff. And so I got into it then. I didn't actually get to training into wrestling until probably about like 3 or 4 years ago. Like actually taking the steps to do it the right way. Some more than obviously doing backyard wrestling and stuff like that. But big into technical wrestling now, obviously. I was a Kurt Angle fan, late years. Big into William Regal, which I wasn't into when I was younger. I thought it was boring and just wasn't into it. But as I get older, have a respect for it now.
Yep. So now you've been in wrestling, been in wrestling as a wrestler and training for the last 3 or 4 years, but you've been in wrestling for a little bit longer than that.
That's correct. Yeah. I met Dump Sanders when I was in high school, which he's the co-owner of NewSouth with me. So that's how I met him and a lot of the people around this area in wrestling. Just going to those shows and helping out with indie shows they were running at the time, local, little tiny local shows and stuff like that. And yeah, that's how I got it with that crew and stuff like that.
So how did you guys get into and then start to actually create New South?
We it had been a few years since we had talked to each other. I had moved off to California, you know, doing all the music stuff and stuff like that. And I'd moved back to Decatur. And we just hit each other up, man. We were like, let's go to this local wrestling show, man. It's been a while. Let's go check it out. So I was like, yeah, man, let's go. And it's just a small little podunk show in the middle of nowhere. And so we're going watching wrestling. You know, we know a couple of the guys. And I was just like, man, we could do something, man. Like we can start our own promotion. Like there's nothing around here, you know, that's really going strong. So I know he had a bunch of connects through, you know, the years in wrestling that he's been in. And yeah, we just decided to just try it, man. So yeah.
Tried it.
Yeah.
And it's working pretty damn well.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah.
If I could throw my opinion in there, I love watching Action Clash every Tuesday.
Yeah.
I am super psyched that New South is coming to New Jersey, which I have tickets to go to in December.
Wow.
I am very excited to go to that show because it's only about 2-ish hours from where I live.
What? Seriously?
Yeah.
Where are you at?
I am in Central PA, about an hour and a half from Philly and about a half hour south of Hershey.
Wow.
So
okay.
Yeah, and like 45 minutes from Baltimore.
Okay.
So yeah. When I saw that, now I had an inkling that some people from New South were coming up north. I had no dates. I had no info. I had just heard it through the grapevine while at SCI.
Nice.
And I was like, man, I really hope that comes to fruition and actually happens. Because if they're close enough, I'm totally going to the show.
Nice.
And then when I saw the poster come out and the tweet, I was like, okay, let's see. Do I have time in the schedule? Let's get this. Okay, let's. Oh, I'm good. Okay, we're good there. We're good on the family front. Okay, let's get the tickets.
Nice. Well, nice. Spoiler alert, I will not be there.
Oh, that was gonna be my next question.
Right. It's the anniversary, man. I gotta. We're going to the mountains with my wife, so.
I completely understand. This past weekend was my wife's birthday, and there were like tons of shows on November 20th, like everywhere around here. Yeah. And I was like, I just can't go.
I mean, you gotta do it, man. Like you gotta balance life, man. Like keep the peace. So
yes.
And I do shows all the time. It's like I try to wrestle and I also run shows. So it's like it's all the time. So I gotta be thankful. So I owe it to her. So
yeah. And she supports you, so you gotta be there for those you gotta be there for those important dates.
Correct.
So starting your own promotion.
Yeah.
If there's somebody out there in the Twitchverse that's gonna listen on YouTube and watch on YouTube later, what would your 3 kind of pieces of information be to somebody if they ever thought about starting their own promotion? What are the top 3 things that they should do?
Oh man, that's a loaded question right there.
I know I believe in the beginning, like we talked to Matt at Action about this. I think when Chris and I interviewed Doug from Paradigm, you know, we kind of asked him that same question, and everybody says the same thing, like that's a tough question. It's not just 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 things. There's so much that goes into it.
Obviously once you like own your own stuff, like I would definitely say buy a ring. We rented a ring for a long time, and obviously, you know, budget's a big thing. Like have a strict budget, and guerrilla promote. Like that's a huge thing. Don't just rely on Facebook. the internet can do a lot, obviously. Like, you got to use both of them, but like a lot of the fans that we have still coming to this day are like flyer people, like just talking to people, man. Like, I'm a bartender, so like I've been doing bartending and waiting tables for God knows 20 years probably. So like talking to people, just like they might not look like a wrestling fan, but they might know a wrestling fan kind of thing. So yeah, that's
Okay.
for sure two things that'll help get your crowd up. People skills.
Yes.
Yeah,
So on the booking aspect of
correct.
things, what I guess how does New South book their shows? You know, I know that there's a lot, and if you watch Action Clash, anybody
Yeah,
in the chat, there's a lot of storylines that
that's
go
true.
through. Like, what's the hardest thing about keeping those storylines together, adding in new elements, adding in new wrestlers, you know, to the shows, but like keeping that timeline of stuff going?
I actually don't book the shows, but I sit in booking meetings and like help out and stuff like that. So I actually write the stories. But being on that end, like there's a lot of moving parts on that end too. Um, Guys staying healthy, um, guys having other bookings other places. You know, that happens a lot. So say you have these dates and you need this, you know, you're trying to tell a story, but they're here and they're there. So you got to change up, and it's a constant changing thing. Like, there'll be times when it'll change the day up because of there's been so many times just crazy stuff happens. Like, that's a
and,
thing in
and,
wrestling. Yeah.
and especially over the last like 2 years, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Along with COVID, another thing too. Just like, yeah, it's amazing how we can keep the wheel turning sometimes.
I bet. Now you and Dump have been there from the beginning, of
Correct.
course.
Yeah.
Has there been a core group of wrestlers that you've held on to from, you know, those first couple of years that are still with New South or still come back to New South?
Um, from the very beginning, there's probably only a handful maybe. Donnie Janela, he's been there since the start. CMD, he wasn't wrestling actually when we first started. He had taken a break from wrestling, and I can't remember what show it was. I think we'd been running for maybe like a year, and he had started coming back and just watching the product, and it kind of just got him re-energized because there wasn't too much in Alabama at that point. So he started coming, and he's been there since then. So he's probably been there with us about 6 years, 6 7 years now. So those two for sure. We've had people come and go, obviously, but
Yep.
yeah, they're the mainstays for sure.
What's the best part of being a co-owner in your own wrestling promotion?
I mean, it's fun to see like ideas come to fruition. I'm more of a front of the house guy, so like production wise, and just trying to help the crew run stuff. And we have students and stuff that are wrestling, they're training to wrestle now. So like seeing them get to do stuff and like live out their dream, because when I tried to start training, it was really hard to get going, especially where I'm at here. So like giving them an opportunity and seeing it happen, that's probably been, no, it sounds cheesy, but it is pretty cool.
I know. I mean, having a background in teaching and having done that stuff, it definitely is to see somebody start from one point
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
progress in
yeah,
their whatever it may be,
yeah.
career, in their musical career, in their college career, whatever. You know, it's definitely something that, as on the teaching aspect of things, you love to see that kind of
Oh,
stuff.
yeah. Just confident. You can see confidence build, just in themselves. You know what I mean? Just it's good stuff, man.
Now, training.
Right.
Where did you start your training?
I started training. This was like I said, about 3 or 4 years ago. Um, I was trained by my buddy Daniel Russell. He used to wrestle for Burt Prentice up in the Memphis area during the late 90s, 2000s. He was a job guy up there, stuff like that. So he and another buddy had a wrestling ring that was in a backyard. So I know it sounds as janky as it is, but yeah, we started in a 14-foot training ring in a backyard. Um, I'd already been doing New South at this time, and just wanted to start training. So I was like, man, I'm just gonna give it a go. I think I can do it. I had done some jujitsu and stuff like that on and off throughout the years, so I was gonna try to go that route, you know. And we just started training, man, twice a week. Um, he was a judo guy too, so we implied a lot of those techniques, a lot of chain wrestling, stuff like that, because the ring wasn't that great. So it was a lot of mat wrestling, which you can do. So there's that. And then probably about a year and a half later, 2 years, I started working with CMD and Donnie, and just seminars and everything, man. And now I train at we're doing the academy now with Kinsey Page and CMD. So
nice. Are they the main trainers that you guys have?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's fun. Yeah.
What was, in your opinion, what was the worst part of training?
The hardest part for me was like footwork and learning footwork and just steps, man. That was the hardest, like, for sure. The technical wrestling stuff kind of came easy, to be honest with you, which is probably why I stick with it. But the other stuff and trying to learn just how to put matches together, like, there's so much intricacy you can do in like matches and all kinds of stuff. So it's a lot to learn, and I'm still learning. Like, I'm still growing. So yeah.
Is it tough for you being on the promotion side of things while also being a character in the ring?
Correct. At NewSouth shows, trying to run a show, as far as, because I do tickets and stuff, like, everybody that comes to the door, I pretty much know them, and I've known them for years because I've had to do ticket lists, and I know these people by names now, so they know me. So, like, trying to do that and making sure everybody's doing the right stuff, security wise, and also having to worry about, you know, wrestling that later that night. So it's a lot going on, trying to balance mentally, for sure.
Do you like doing all that? Like, this is a loaded question, you know, but would you rather do one or the other with New South?
Yes and no. I mean, I love wrestling, but I also like doing the stuff up front, you know, helping out. But, you know, ultimately, I like to wrestle. When I go to other promotions, it is sort of a breather that I don't have to actually try to run a show or worry about anything about running a show, you know, money, stuff like this. So I can just focus on the wrestling aspect. But yeah, I guess a good balance, you know.
And for everybody in the chat, one thing we were talking about before we went live was how we do all our own graphics and stuff, and Chris does some of the videos and I do some of the videos, and Chris is like the mastermind of Twitch, and we were talking about programs we use and all this kind of stuff. And I just have to say that I love all of the New South like videos you guys do, the stuff before Action Clash, in between, like all the little commercials that you guys have, all the vignettes for upcoming stuff. I mean, the Halloween graphics for the show that was around Halloween was fantastic. So kudos to you guys and your designers and all those guys in the video production for putting all that stuff together, because it is definitely top notch. So
shout out
as someone that does that, please know that you guys are doing awesome.
Yeah, thank you, Chris McKinnis and TJ Burks, man. They do all that stuff, and like, Chris is top notch. Like you're saying, man, like, he's really good. And I met Chris in high school. I went to high school with Chris, and he's been around the local wrestling scene for about the same time, about 20 years. So yeah, he does a lot of stuff for WWE stuff too. He designs a lot of the gear. I know he's done Zack Ryder stuff and a lot of the New Day gear, like, designs on them.
Very cool.
Yeah, he has some credentials, but yeah, he's really good, man.
I love the new intro video package
Yes.
that you guys have got going
Yeah.
lately too,
Right.
as well for the intro to everything. So
Right. I wish I could edit like that. Like I'm a
right,
baby at editing, man. Like I wish I could do that.
it's so hard. Like
It would take
it's
me
so
weeks,
intricate.
months, dude. Like I could probably do it, but months, man. It would take me that long to like piece it.
Well, I mean, last week, I think it was last week, Chris and I were talking to John, and hopefully I say his last name, Filipavad. No, Filipavage. See, I almost said it wrong.
I'm with
I,
it.
I almost said it wrong. He would kill me if I said it wrong. But he does all the life of stuff for IWTV.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah.
And he was talking about like all the editing and I mean that in and of itself, I mean, is so much stuff because you're just getting bits and pieces.
There's no telling, man.
And you're trying to tell their story through what they're giving you. So I can't even imagine the editing that would go through with that stuff.
I was about to say, imagine the drive, the terabyte or whatever he's gonna have for all that footage and the hours he's gonna watch that, man. Like that's
exactly.
Yeah. I have one match to edit and it takes me days. You know?
So you guys have the training school down there. Who should we, the fans of New South, be looking for to come out as the top dog per se from the training classes that are going on down there?
Big Dave.
I know it's tough. Big tough.
Dave.
Big Dave. Everybody loves Big Dave.
Man. Yeah, Big Dave, BDSM, man. I don't know if you know those guys on Twitter, but
since 1999.
Follow them. Hey, with the catchphrases and all. Okay. Shout out to Big Dave, Lee. Right.
Love those guys. At some point, I'm going to nail the both of them down, or one of us is, so that we can get them on and do an interview because it would be gold.
Yeah, you should, for sure. Yes.
Gold. We will get them at some point. So okay. So everybody out there, Big Dave is the one you need to be watching. And he's been getting in the ring.
That's right.
Lately.
He's been doing really good, like seriously.
Yeah.
Like all Twitter jokes and everything aside, dude's hustling. He's lost a lot of weight. He puts in the work. Yeah, he's serious about it. Like you gotta respect it.
I was surprised to see Lee in the ring.
Lee's awesome.
And man, I forget who was out there. It must have been, I don't know, maybe last week or the week before, man. He just laid out one of the guys.
John Campbell. Just
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, just absolutely laid him out. And I lost my head when it happened because I didn't expect it from him
we didn't
at
either.
all.
Look, I was watching it from the back on the monitor and I'm like,
did not expect it at all from him.
Oh man, Lee's a good guy, man. He's a really good guy.
Yes, they're so much fun. We met them, got to meet them down at SCI. They literally like made the hot dog eating contest so great. Like there's nothing better than those couple of videos, and go check them out on our YouTube from the hot dog eating contest from SCI. Just Dave was in the zone. He wasn't blinking. He wasn't doing. He was there. He was staring a hole through something.
Did you do this contest?
I did not. I was supposed to, and I said I would do it, and then it got to the time, and I was like, wait, hold on. There's not enough plates of hot dogs here, and they were like, oh no, we'll make you another plate. I'm like, nope, don't worry about it. I'm good. I'm good. You guys have all the fun.
I've actually entered one of the Nathan's hot dog eating contests, like the real legit ones, like the qualifiers they do to go to Coney Island or whatever. And I was probably like 22. I don't know what I was doing. Like, I don't know why the hell I did it, but I got smoked. Like the dude, I think I ate like 10 hot dogs. And I think the winner probably had like 40 something, man. Like it was the guy with the spiked hair. I forgot his name.
Okay.
He was Pat something.
What was your way to, were you dunking?
Oh yes, I think lemonade was the thing. They had water and lemonade they passed out to everybody. It's disgusting. Like, yeah.
I can't do it.
Yeah,
I couldn't do that.
Like their own cups of stuff and like their own, like they were serious. When I got in there, I was like, yeah, this is gonna be fun. And like these dudes are like ready, dude. Like how many hot dogs you eating? Like kind of asking me. I'm like, oh, this is my first time kind of thing. And it's just like, bros, dude, like I'm not in my element at all.
They were like, we could just check this guy off this. We don't have to worry about him.
He's out.
Oh, okay. So we talked a little bit about training, talked a little bit about you guys training wrestlers. So lately you've had a lot of great matches, not just at New South, but in other various places. You were at the Sup Grap show where you took on Cabana Man Dan, and then you tagged with him not too long after that.
That's correct.
What's it like getting into the ring with such a veteran like Cabana Man Dan?
Man, it was awesome. Like you hear the stories about, he's awesome, he's one of the vets, and it's like until you wrestle him, like it's one of those things, until you wrestle somebody, you just know. There's a feeling to it of how they take on the match, how they lead the match, and a lot of credit to him. And like he's one of the hardest working dudes I know for sure. And that's definitely one of my favorite matches for sure.
What was the atmosphere? I mean, we saw it on IWTV, but being there live, going into the ring, what was the atmosphere there at Sup?
It's different. I was telling Jesse this after the show too. It's like I used to play in a hardcore band that do hardcore shows, go to all kinds of metal shows, stuff like that. And that's like the energy it felt like. The people were just like into everything. And it was it's not your typical wrestling crowd, if I can say that. Like another great crowd that I've been to is Action. Like that crowd eats up everything. They're loud, they're into it. But like two separate, totally different vibes at both of those shows. So it's crazy. It's cool.
Now you wrestled Cabana Man, and then you tagged with Cabana Man. You also at SCI got to tag with the wrestling genius Daniel Makabe.
Yes.
What being in the and that SCI totally threw everybody that was there and probably watching for a left turn, because we were all like, oh shit, Makabe is gonna wrestle Brandon Williams.
Right.
That's gonna be amazing. Right. Like we were all like, oh man, this is, and then no, right. Time out.
Right.
Pump the brakes. No, we're tag teaming together against Suplex Science.
Right.
So what's it like then being able to tag with two people that have been around for so long? Like what did you take away from that Makabe match?
Listening to Makabe and the way he just puts together stuff and his psychology on wrestling was different. I had wrestled Alex and Tangra both at Action.
Yep.
So that was cool going into that knowing what I'm up against, so there was familiar there. But yeah, Makabe's a genius, man. Like just his thought, just the way he put everything together and the spots that he was calling and just like explaining why you were doing it instead of what you were doing, if that makes sense.
Was it a different kind of wrestling lesson than what you would get from CMD?
Definitely. A lot of those guys, like a lot of vets that I've listened to, all have a different way. They have the same way of going about it, but they all have a different way to get there. So a lot of paths to the same destination. So yeah, two totally different ways of thinking. But especially being a tag match, I'm not in a lot of tag matches. So the way he was putting that together too, like learning about tag matches, which is a whole nother monster,
Yeah.
So, I like singles matches. I like singles matches. It's a lot less to think about for me, I guess. Yeah.
Definitely. Now you also mentioned before, and Christopher, I see you in the chat talking about the band stuff. We are going to hit music. Trust me, I already had it on my list before you even said anything. So don't worry, chat and Chris, we will get to the music part of Brandon's background. We're talking a little bit of wrestling right now. Come on, bear with me, people. Come on, please. And now I've literally just lost my train of thought. Now I have to go back and think about where I was.
That's my life, dude.
Vic says sports. Yes, sports music, comics, movies, all that stuff. TV. We throw it all in together.
Yeah.
Man, what the hell was I gonna ask you? We were talking about tag team, Makabe, CMD. I don't know. We're just gonna move on.
Let's do it.
That's all we can do. Oh, now I remember. You had mentioned the different wrestlers coming around doing, you know, their clinics.
Yeah.
You guys recently had Alex Zane.
Correct.
There at NewSouth. Did you get a chance to be a part of his clinic?
I did not.
Oh.
That's another thing too. Like running the business side, I get to miss out on a lot of the fun stuff like that because I'm putting out seats and taking phone calls and this and that. It's just
making sure all the business side of things is taken
sometimes
care
I get to take them, but yeah, I don't have that luxury sometimes. But I heard it was a really good seminar. Like that's one of the training's favorite seminars. So yeah.
Of the seminars that you have been to, like who were, for anybody, any wrestlers that are listening that are coming up, like who are some of the seminar people out there that you would definitely recommend and say, hey, you need to go to X, Y, and Z?
Gresham's seminar was really good. Obviously, I liked that one, being a technical guy, but you put in a lot of work in Gresham's seminars. I've taken his twice. Another seminar I've taken is Danhausen's seminar, which was more of a media based. So
okay,
it's really good too. I mean, he opened my eyes to a lot of things using the internet that I didn't know about. I'm trying to think of another seminar I've taken. Off the top of my head, I'll come back to that one.
That works for me.
I'm so bad at this.
Don't even worry.
It'll come to me. As soon as I get off, I'll think of like 5 more seminars I've been to that I have stories about. But yeah.
I literally just forgot the question I was going to ask you. So you can't be worse than that, Brandon. You can't be worse than that. Okay, so we're gonna take a turn. We're gonna leave wrestling for a little bit. We talked outside of wrestling before, but now we're gonna get into some of this music stuff. And I love music. I'm a huge music guy. I remember seeing a tweet where you talked about, I think it was an Ozfest show where you love Judas Priest and you love my boys in Hatebreed. Come representing from Connecticut, as I lived there for 15 years. Love those guys. So my first question is, as a Hatebreed fan, what's your favorite Hatebreed song?
Oh man, Voice of Contention is one of my favorites. I jam that one out a lot. Perseverance, obviously, like the popular ones are good. I like probably Rise of Brutality. It's probably my favorite album. Okay. This Is Now. Love that song.
Great song.
I think I discovered Hatebreed off a Headbangers Ball CD that had This Is Now on it. I think I was in 11th grade at that time. And I'd heard them before, but I started listening to that and I was like, man, these guys rule. Like I was into metal, like radio metal at that time. Because again, this was the time of internet. I didn't know too much. So whatever I heard on the radio at the time, like Slipknot, Korn, and all that stuff, which I still have a soft spot for those guys. Yeah. But then I started divvying off into hardcore music, Hatebreed, Terror, all that stuff. Love that stuff, man.
Now I'm assuming you've seen Hatebreed live.
Yes, I've seen them 3 times. 3 times? Yeah. One at Ozfest, another at Knotfest in California, and Nashville, another time in Nashville, I think.
Okay.
Love, they're so good, man.
Oh, they are. I mean, We saw them at one of the Carolina Rebellions.
Man.
They played there, and they played one of the smaller stages, and they were fantastic. I've seen them in small ass places like
Oh, nice.
Toad's Place in Connecticut,
Oh,
where you
man.
have like 150, maybe 200 people there,
Oh, that rules, dude. See,
and
I'd love to do that.
you just feel like
Yeah,
part of the whole scene that's going on there.
they're
Are
so
you
crisp. Yeah,
are you a guy that gets into the pit? Are
yeah,
you throwing?
yeah, dude. I'm crowd surfing, my slam dancing, dude. I'm all into that, man. Like, maybe not so much now. I haven't been to a hardcore show probably in a good 5 years, maybe 4 or 5 years. Obviously, since COVID, there wasn't too much going on then, so not a
Yep,
lot of
yep.
moshing at that time. But yeah, man, I was into it.
What do you think of Hatebreed's new album?
Uh, I like it. I like Hatebreed, man. Like, I like any of the stuff they put out, but it's more crisp studio metal. They're
It's
leaning towards
different.
like, it's like digital. Like, you can tell it's
Yeah.
really studioed out. But I mean, I like Josta, man. I like Jamie, dude. Like, all his vocals just get me hyped, dude. Like,
And like, having seen them numerous times,
yeah.
and being a fan of them, like my wife is like, how can you like a band that's called Hatebreed?
Oh,
I'm
man.
like, but that's just a
Yeah.
name. That's not even, if
All
you
right.
listen to, if you break down their lyrics,
Oh, man.
a lot of
Uplifting.
their lyrics are very positive.
Very, man. Like,
It's empowering.
yeah, it really is. Like, if you're in a rut, like, it's really one of those like self-empowering, uh, cliche stuff. But it, like, man, it's like talking to you, man. Like, yeah,
It not only gets you hyped
yeah,
for something, you know,
right,
like I would listen to that as I would be getting ready or driving to like hockey games when I was playing
yeah,
hockey, like just to get into that like mindset. But like, even there other times, like This Is Now is it's a very positive
yeah,
song, and
right.
it sucks that people, and I'm not throwing my wife under the bus here or anything, but it sucks that people look at it like that and say like, "Oh, you like a band name called Hatebreed? Like,
Right.
what the fuck is that? Like,
I don't know. Yeah.
why are you breeding hate?" And you're like, "No, that's not it at all. Like,
Oh, yeah.
that's
I
not
mean,
even how the band got their name. It was
oh
from
yeah.
another song."
I mean, for the longest time, people call them skinheads and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like, and they're anti like that stuff. So it's crazy.
people make me sad.
Yeah.
So now your hardcore stuff.
Mhm.
What were you out in California doing with that?
Um, I flew out to California to live with my dad out there, and this was in San Jose. And I'd gone to hardcore shows around here and stuff like that. So when I moved out there, I just started looking up like where are some hardcore shows. I'm just gonna go to some hardcore shows, meet some people, and just do that. So I went to a few shows and met my homies in Maya Over Eyes, which they're a hardcore band from San Jose, and I started doing merch for them. Um, we went on like a week and a half long run up the West Coast with Marauder. If you, I'm sure, do you know Marauder?
I've heard the
Yeah.
Marauder before, yeah.
Yeah. We went up the coast with them, so I was selling merch and all kinds of stuff, man. Living the van life, sleeping in a van, dude.
Right? So now I know that we said we'd get into like travel stories, but since we're on the music side of things,
Yeah.
like what's the craziest music related travel story that you have from that time?
Um, we were. This is yeah, okay. So we were going to Fresno, California, from San Jose, and we picked up one of our buddies, and I don't know the guy too well. He's kind of like a hothead, right? So like very confrontational, but like not to your face about it. Like it looked like he was just gonna go off. So like he was riding with us. He's buddies with everybody. He doesn't really know me that well. So we're riding down there and he's just chugging and like liquor bottles, dude. Like
Oh
back to
man.
back. And I'm like, man, is this dude gonna be okay? Like he's going with us. And so we get out of the gas station and he gets out walks up to the front door and tries to use the bathroom. They won't let him. And he just walks out the door and uses the bathroom right there, like right outside the gas station door, man, in front of everybody. And I'm sitting in the van. I'm like, dude, we gotta y'all get in the van. We gotta get the hell out of here.
We gotta go. We gotta go.
Right, like, yeah. So yeah, we go down there. We go to this house party, and we get down there probably about 10 o'clock at night. And it's Power Trip. I don't know if you listen to Power Trip, but they were playing in the garage, and it was probably like 60 people capacity, man.
Man, so that must have been like when they first,
Yes.
when Power Trip first started.
2011. Yeah. It was Power Trip, Alpha and Omega, and a couple of hardcore bands from there. But man, so good, dude. Like, so good.
Oh,
I ate a bunch of weed cookies and got like super blitz. Like, it was insane, dude. Like, that was crazy, man.
Chris will never let me live down the fact that I missed Power Trip set at, I think, that same Carolina Rebellion that I was talking about that I saw Hatebreed. As I came to the show late, I couldn't get an early enough flight. Chris also missed most of it too, because he had to give me my bracelet and go to the car to let me in. And the two other guys that we were with were like, yeah, no, we're not leaving. You can go let Chuck into the car to put his stuff away. I was like, sorry.
Dude,
Sorry,
they're
Chris.
so good. So good.
And now, Christopher, you might never be able to see them. I don't know if they're ever gonna replace and tour again, but
yeah, man. Sucks, man.
It does.
Drugs suck.
It does. Okay, so the one thing that we need to talk about, and it ties in music, and apparently it ties in wrestling. You put some tweets out about it, and it's Headbangers Brawl. Not Headbangers Ball for anybody that's old enough to remember that, but Headbangers Brawl. So give us the info on what this project is going to be.
Basically a mix of like metal, hardcore music, culture, and wrestling, and because the parallels between the two are so like almost like magic, man. Like touring with a hardcore band and then doing bookings with independent wrestling, man. It's like it's almost the same hustle, like merchandise, just levels of bands, and like just how it parallels the wrestling scene. So yeah, just metal music. I know we're gonna try to highlight some different bands from around the country, and then just have different banger matches, man. Try to get people who may have been in bands before, are influenced in the hardcore scene, metal scene, which I've met a ton of people who have interest in it. So just kind of mix that together. Maybe have some live bands play the actual show. I know we have some around here. I've done some stuff for Sup before, Heel Turn. I don't know if you know those guys, but they're really good. But yeah, just trying to do some stuff like that, man. It's in the very beginning stages right now. I'm trying to get exactly what I want, man.
Got it. And now is it going to be like some live stuff, some recorded stuff?
Yeah, a live show, but it's going to be recorded for episodes, kind of thing.
Okay.
So I'm thinking about doing just like a rough few, like 3 or 4 episodes, kind of see how it goes. I'm talking to some people about editing and different stuff like that, the little stuff right now. But the book and the wrestling part will be easy. Everything else is the hard part, man, of getting exactly what you want. Because I don't want it to be just another wrestling show, man. I want it to be different. So
yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm in. When I saw it, I was like, right. I mean, I grew up in the heyday of Headbangers Ball.
Right.
So I remember staying up late to watch that on MTV and listening to all the bands and everything. So when I saw that it was Headbangers Brawl, I was like, I think I even commented on it. I was like, I don't know what this is about, but I love it just with the name.
It's really cool, man. See, I was into the revamp of Headbangers Ball when the 2000s years, I guess, whenever I found that Hatebreed song. Like those years, I got into it a lot.
So, did you ever did you ever play an instrument?
Guitar.
Okay.
I play guitar. Play a little
And
electric guitar.
I'm gonna assume that you were. Well, I didn't think you were playing acoustic guitar
Hey, look,
in a
hey,
in a
don't ever
thrasher
go.
band, but that in a hardcore band, but that would be a great shtick.
Hey, seriously, dude.
Uh,
Some classical guitar and hardcore, man.
so, did you play with any bands?
I played in a hardcore band from my area called 21 and 1. Yes, it is a play off the Undertaker thing. Yeah, you can actually look it up. It's okay stuff, you know. It's not bad.
So okay, so I'm gonna write this down as well. Is
Yeah.
it 21 and 1 like
Hardcore.
written out words or just the numbers?
21
Okay.
and the little signal for
Yep.
and 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will be checking that out.
You should, man. If it's not bad stuff, man. Like it's not the greatest, but whatever.
Okay.
It is what it is.
So how did you get started in music then?
Oh man, I got a guitar when I was in high school. Messed around with it, and then me and my buddies, one of my buddies, Drew, that does sound for us at NewSouth. He's a drummer, so we got together, went to hardcore shows, stuff like that. Just started picking it up, playing, man. Just listened to a lot of Hatebreed, trying to do like that was our influence, like stuff like that. But yeah. It went fairly successful, I guess. I mean, for local, we played a lot of local shows with some big bands, and we recorded, so that was a big thing for me. So
Yeah.
it was fun.
Did you ever open for anybody that you were like, oh my God, I can't believe we're opening for so and so?
I mean, we played with like bands like Lionheart before. I don't know if you listen to stuff like that. That was big for me. Like, a lot of the hardcore bands I was listening to, like the West Coast scene, stuff like that. But there was nobody like huge.
Gotcha.
Which was the hardcore scene. There's not like really a ton of huge bands, except I mean, Hatebreed's obviously one of the biggest ones. But
yeah.
And I booked shows for a long time. Like that's
Okay.
how I got into booking. Like I started booking hardcore shows for a long time. I booked Whitechapel's, one of their first Alabama shows ever. When they were just starting out, man, which is pretty cool. I had video of it somewhere online somewhere of they're young kids, man, playing the stuff. But like as soon as he let out growls, man, like you could look around the crowd and know it was different. Like this dude was different. Like
yeah,
insane. Yeah.
I was gonna, and it's funny that you brought up the booking of bands. I was actually gonna ask: is it harder? Is it harder to book a musical act, or either yourself or a full wrestling show?
Oh man, music. If it depends on what skill you're doing that. Now, when I started booking bigger bands, you got to start doing like agents and stuff like that, which kind of a bit of a headache. You know, they want certain stuff, they want this and that. And, you know, some of the bands came in with a rock star attitude. Some of them, not all of them, but yeah. So you got to deal with that. But yeah, it's the same in wrestling too. So
yeah.
Again, go back to the parallel. It's the same stuff. Man.
Now, is there a time frame for when Headbangers Brawl is going to come out?
I'm thinking I'm going to try March or April. Cool. I'm looking at venues right now. We thought I had a venue, but it kind of fell through. And I just want to make sure the pieces are together instead of trying to rush it. I know that obviously sounds cliche, but yeah.
Is it
so March, April?
Okay. So everybody look out March, April for that. I'm sure we'll see some more tweets about it. Please follow Brandon on Twitter. He only has Twitter. We'll get into that later. I'm pretty sure Chris does. He's got it in the bottom corner of the screen. So Twitter is at Hook and Stretch. Please, everybody, go follow. So another
road to 1,000, baby.
Yes, road to 1,000. That's the hashtag. Hashtag road to 1,000 for Brandon.
Yeah.
So another thing outside of wrestling that I wanted to touch on is you took a little bit of time away because you had a shoulder injury. We've seen you wrestle for the past couple of weeks in various places, so I'm assuming the shoulder injury is better. How was taking time away and recouping and all that?
Sucks, man. Like mentally, dude. Like I was in a bad mental place, man. Like if I break my schedule, I'm a real like routine guy, like obsessively routine. So like if it breaks my routine, I kind of get mentally out of whack. So not being able to go to the gym and like do the lifts. Now I can do some lifts, but like if I start getting mentally out of whack, man, like I'll lose it. Like it's hard to explain. So like it was kind of hard, but now that I'm getting better, like these past few weeks have been a lot better. I've been going to the gym and eating a little bit better. I don't know about Thursday, but I'm gonna kill the diet. Dude, I'm killing it Thursday. But yeah, it was hard that month and a half, man. So I can't imagine like tearing an ACL, knock on wood or something.
Yeah.
You know, being out for that long, man, you know.
Now, did the injury happen? I'm assuming the injury happened during a match.
Correct. Yeah. I think it happened in July at one of our Action Glass tapings. I just fell weird on my shoulder. It's one of those things. And then I didn't take it lightly. I was just thought it was just pain. So I was just like, you know what? I'm not gonna be a baby. I'm gonna get over it. So I continued to lift, and then I think the weekend after SCI, because it was hurting bad. Like after that week, yeah, it was really hurting bad after that week. So I went to the doctor, and I was like, man, something's up. Like I know pain, I can get through pain, but this is just like it keeps lasting. So it was just a grade 1 AC joint, which is not terrible, but it is hindering for sure.
Yeah. Dumb question. And because you mentioned falling and all that kind of stuff, is there ever any tumbling, like training on how to tuck and roll or how to roll a certain way, you know, while you're going through wrestling training?
For sure, man. I take judo. I went to like learn break falls and like rolling and stuff like that. Now the falls are a little different from like pro wrestling. It's the way you fall, but it's kind of the same as like spreading your impact out the best you can. So when I did that fall, I fell just directly on this shoulder right here first. So it was just one of those things, man.
Yeah. Was it like go ahead.
No, but yeah, you can learn. I mean, rolling and stuff, tumbling, it helps a ton. Like starting judo, I've been doing judo for probably almost a year and a half, 2 years now. And yeah, it's helped a lot doing that stuff.
When you hit the shoulder, was it like that moment where you're like, oh crap, I think I fucked something up?
It's not, it wasn't. It was one of those things, probably adrenaline going at that time. I didn't. But it was just kind of just a nagging pain after that. You know, Josh just thought another wrestling, whatever, I'll be fine in a week. Continuing to lift, and then I was doing some overhead lifts, and it just started to hurt really bad then. So I don't know if I just aggravated it enough to like minor tears or something, but after that it was just like it takes a long time to recover. Like
Yeah.
Getting old, man.
You're not even old.
Are we gonna talk about this? No.
You're not even old. I'm old.
Nah,
I'm old and broke down. Like
I'm feeling it, man.
I literally look like a gremlin with my white patch going through my beard here.
Majestic, dude.
Thank you. I mean, I am getting to the point where at somewhere in the next, I don't know, 10 or 15 years, I will be able to achieve my goal of becoming Santa Claus because my beard will be all white at some point.
That's awesome, man. Like I'm a Christmas guy. So
me too. I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to that. Now, Thanksgiving is in a couple of days. You mentioned you're definitely gonna eat on Thanksgiving. We have a special Thanksgiving portion of our interview coming up a little bit later on in the show. We're not there yet. We're not there yet, but I want to know, what is the one thing you look forward to the most at Thanksgiving? And it could be dinner, it could be like beforehand, or what's the thing that you look forward to the most? I think Brandon might have froze. Yep. Oh, he might be back.
Were you there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we're good now.
All right. I don't know what happened.
I was like, Brandon is staying in that one position a little bit too long. I think he might have froze.
I was contemplating what I wanted, man. I think if I don't know if I finished the question. What food is that? Where we're going?
So, well, not it couldn't. What's the one thing that you look forward to the most at Thanksgiving? Now, it could be a certain part of the dinner. Like, I really love the cranberry sauce, or it could be, no, I really like noshing on all the appetizers that my family does, or no, I just like hanging out with all the family. Like, what's your favorite part of Thanksgiving?
Oh man, probably eating and watching football, man. Like we'll watch the NFL games, even though the Lions suck. But we'll watch some football, but macaroni and cheese, rolls, mashed potatoes, and turkey, man. I'm a simple guy. Like that's where I'm going. That's where I'm going first, man. The rolls, dude. Like that's where it's
Nice.
at.
Homemade rolls or like store bought?
I like homemade rolls. No, don't get me wrong, but I'll go with the Sister Schubert's, man. The bag or panned. They're both good.
See, we don't have those up here in the north.
See, yeah, I'm trying to think of something similar. Well, probably anything, whatever rolls, man.
Rolls in general are good. I mean,
what's a thing up there? What's a northern Thanksgiving? Is it drastically different?
no, I think all Thanksgivings, I mean, are pretty much the same. I mean, everybody's got turkey. You got your mashed potatoes. Like
Green
I
bean
know.
casserole.
Say that again.
Green bean casserole. Is that a thing?
That is a thing. My family never did that. My mom always did what she called drunken sweet potatoes.
What's that?
So it was basically like a sweet potato casserole where she would just slice the sweet potatoes, layer them in a casserole dish with butter, a little bit of brown sugar in between each layer, and then you pour some hearty liquor on top. Now my mom always used, I think, some type of scotch. I think I use Captain Morgan's, and I have to rep the captain name somewhere. So I always throw in some 100 proof Captain Morgan on there.
Oh, and then proof. Nice.
Oh yeah. And then you top it off with marshmallow.
I'm digging that, dude. I've never heard of that. That sounds really good, actually.
See, and I don't know if that's like a thing anywhere else, but man, like every year, my mom would have that my dad would never eat it. So my mom would always make him like roasted potatoes or sweet potatoes or something. But like pretty much everybody else that was at the table was eating the drunken sweet potatoes.
I didn't know if y'all did like an Italian Thanksgiving. My mom did a taco Thanksgiving last year. I just went with it, man. Like I want my Thanksgiving food,
Yeah, I mean, my head is very strict on what I want at my Thanksgiving. It's turkey, it's stuffing, it's mashed potatoes or sweet potatoes. Now that I'm with my wife, she does an awesome kick-ass broccoli and cheese casserole, which is fantastic. She makes her own cranberry sauce, which is, as much as I love the jellied cranberry sauce that you could just slice off with like a samurai sword and get like really thin.
Dealing cards, man.
Yeah, exactly. As much as I love that, her homemade one is fantastic. But I mean, for me, I just like being around family. The food is the best. This year I won't be cooking a full dinner. We're just doing some appetizers and stuff that we're bringing over, but it'll be a little sad. But I'm still making in memory of my mom. Her stuffing will be made. So don't worry, Mom. I'm making your stuffing. It's just gonna happen the day later. That's all. So, favorite dessert from Thanksgiving?
Pecan pie. Ooh. I don't have it much, man. I find myself eating these foods only at Thanksgiving, so maybe that's part of it. I'm not a big pumpkin stuff. So yeah, pecan pie.
Nice.
And some strawberry pretzel salad. I mean, pretzel salad. That's so dope, man.
Wait, time out. Explain. Explain
Strawberry
yourself,
pretzel
sir.
salad. It's like oh man, it's like a caramelized pretzels and strawberry mix and whipped cream on top, and it's like you can cut in little squares.
Okay,
So
okay. I got you now.
yeah,
I think I've had that before. So it's like a crust on the bottom
yes,
made of the
yeah,
pretzels and everything. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Gotcha.
Not some
Gotcha.
weird like fruity vegetable salad. That's on my
I,
diet, man. I'm trying to live right now. It's Thanksgiving week, man.
right? We were having dinner tonight and my wife said, she was like, "Oh yeah, I was talking to somebody about like what they do." They asked me what we're doing for Thanksgiving, and I told them, and she's like, "Yeah, we don't really do Thanksgiving anymore." And she was like, "Well, like why?" And the person she was talking to said, "Because I hate doing the damn dishes afterwards."
Oh,
She goes, "For the last like 3 years, we've just ordered out Chinese food, and that's been our Thanksgiving dinner." And I was like, "I love that too.
hey,
I'm down
whatever
with that."
works. Yeah, if it works for everybody, I'm with it, man.
Yeah,
Cracker
exactly.
Barrel, man. I've been to Cracker Barrel on Thanksgiving. Do y'all have Cracker Barrel? I'm sorry. Do y'all have that up there?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm I'm an idiot. So yeah, okay,
No, dude,
great.
trust me, out of with all the people that we've talked to from all around the country, there are places that I've never even heard of. Like everybody talks about what's it called? I'm gonna butcher the name. Bucky's, what is
Never
it?
been. Never
Like
been.
everybody talks about that. Never even heard of it until like everybody was like, "This is the greatest place in the entire
You see
world
it
because
everywhere now.
it's a
Yeah.
gas station and like a convenience store."
Yeah. I should have bought Bucky stock this year because they're rising, dude. Because I see it
Oh,
everywhere, man.
yep. Like here in Central PA, it's like those types of gas stations. We got either Sheets.
See, I've never been or heard of that stuff.
Yep, we got Sheets or like a local one around here, which is called Rudders, and that's like literally like just in this area, Pennsylvania, maybe a little bit farther away, but
I need to check it out because I think it's just a gas station, man. Like they got to do something. I gotta
yeah,
go maybe to get the full effect.
yes.
Everybody puts it over, man. Like puts that place over, dude.
I forget who the heck we were talking to, but they were like, yeah, there's like 100 gas tank fill stations, and the place is enormous. It's like going to a Walmart with a gas station.
What are we doing,
I, hey, good for them that they can sell their own merch, and everybody wants their own merch.
man? Yeah, no, you're right. I can't
Shit,
hate, man.
no, definitely not. So I'm gonna throw it over to Christopher. Christopher, do we have any questions from chat for Mr. Brandon here?
Yes, we do. We have a few questions in the chat. You guys have
Nice.
covered so many subjects that, of course, we have questions. So let's start from the beginning where we got way off the rails and we're talking about Star Wars there for a while.
Just a little bit.
Vic wanted to know what was Brandon's most underrated Star Wars character.
Can you hear me still?
Yep. Yeah, we can
Okay,
hear you.
cool. Sorry, the video.
Can you
went
hear
off.
Chris?
Now, okay, sorry. I thought my connection went bad again.
Oh
Nope.
no,
Yes, I heard it. Yes,
I am
underrated
just
Star
the
Wars.
voice in the sky, so that's probably what's throwing you off.
Oh, underrated Star Wars character. Man. I thought Obi-Wan in the prequels got a lot of hate, man. He did get a lot of, like when that was out, he got a lot of hate. I thought he did a very good job playing that role. Jabba the Hutt didn't get enough screen time for me. Yeah, probably Jabba the Hutt. Good, great character, man. Like they didn't touch anything on what it could have been, man. But yeah.
All right, so old bad guy wants to know 3 places that you'd like to wrestle at.
Oh man.
Oh, bad guy. Why are you taking one of my questions here?
3 places. Limitless, obviously, that's a really good promotion. High quality stuff up there. Another spot is Prestige out in Washington area. They're actually running all over the West Coast now. I met William, which is the promoter, when I was on tour with the band from California. So it's a small world. I met him when I was doing that stuff, and now he was doing band stuff at the time as well. And now we're both running successful stuff on IWTV. You know, Prestige,
awesome.
really good stuff. They're about to start running again next year. So definitely check them out. Another spot I would like to do, I'm kind of intrigued with the pit stuff, man. ICW, the pit. I didn't get to go to Chattanooga this past weekend because I had prior stuff with NewSouth and other things, but I like stuff like that too. It's a different avenue. So yeah.
Are you okay with getting busted up?
Yes and no. Like some of the stuff's a little out there for me. Like when I was doing the backyard stuff in the day, like I was saying, hardcore wrestling, like we would do thumbtacks and light bulbs and barbed wire, and we probably didn't take safety precautions like people do now. So we were doing it, and I have a huge scar on my arm from I had to go to the hospital. Like I got choke slammed on a thing of light bulbs, and like a piece of the light bulb jammed through my arm, and like I pulled it out, and there was fat oozing out of my arm, and like they said it was like really close to an artery there, which, and it could have been, but yeah, just crazy stuff. I don't think I could do that now because I'm just older. I got a family, you know what I mean? Like I'll still do some stuff, but nothing crazy. I don't know if that makes me a pussy or not, but I have respect for the guys that
Not
do
at
it.
all.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like I love wrestling in all the avenues. But yeah.
So that's funny you say that, because it leads us to the next question from Old Bad Guy of what's been your worst bump? And I said I would assume there's nothing worse than that, but has there been a bump that's been maybe not as impaling but worse?
Taking a bump the wrong way on some stuff, like hitting your head, or like, especially like in the beginning, like catching that whiplash and almost getting knocked out of some bumps, man. Like some of the bumps that don't look that bad are some of the worst, if that makes sense. Some of the bigger bumps I've taken actually haven't been bad at all. I don't know if adrenaline was rushing at the time, but one of the bumps at We Love Pro Wrestling 20, I think it was, at NewSouth, I ran and did a flip off the side of the ring onto Steven Michaels, and I landed on my heel, and I probably couldn't walk on my heel for like 2 months, man. I wasn't wrestling much at the time then. I was only taking a few bookings of what I could get. But yeah, I was limping for 2 months, like serious limping, because my heel like swelled up the size of like a softball for a little bit. But that was probably the worst one. Yeah, I broke my arm when I was backyard wrestling, but I don't count all that stuff. That sucked. But yeah.
All right, so I'm going to read this one verbatim from Old Bad Guy. So it says, Brandon has put on some muscle lately. How beefy he looking to get?
Hey, whoa. Dude, in a perfect world, man, like 200, 210 of jacked muscle. Man, I don't know if that'll ever happen, dude, but like that would be nice. I think I'm sitting at probably like 190, dude. I've been slacking this past, like what was I say with that shoulder injury, man? I've been slacking that past month. But I can gain weight and shed weight so easy. It's ridiculous. Like it's a blessing and a curse for sure.
I wish I could do that.
It sucks, man, because you can put it on quick, but like 2 weeks, dude, water weight, like if I stay vigilant, I can drop like seriously like 15 pounds. I know it's not all fat, but like water weight and everything, 15, 20 pounds, man. Which I got to do. Which I have a booking coming up soon. I don't know if I can talk. I'm actually going to be at Paradigm here, December the 3rd. I can't say, they haven't announced it yet, so I can't say who I might be working, but yeah, I need to get on it. Let's just say that, because I got some possible opponents that I definitely need to be on it for sure. Because yeah, I'll just leave it at that for sure. Yeah.
Well, Old Bad Guy just clarified. He just wants to. It's obviously that the work has been getting done. So.
Well, thank you.
Now, he was wanting to also know how excited you are for New Jersey, but I guess we have to twist that a little bit.
Man,
How are you?
like,
How excited are you for the promotion to be up in
right,
New
no, it's
Jersey?
very cool. Yeah, like I'm excited for the guys to go up there. I wish I could go, but like I said, I got to balance personal life things. But it'll be cool to reach new fans that have never seen us before. I know a lot of northern guys will be on the show as well, so it'll be cool to kind of like mix and get to meet new people, get some new eyes, man. And I'll have fun watching it. Hopefully, we get to stream it. I'm not sure if we're streaming it at night or not. I think we're trying to, but who knows? But it'll be fun watching it back. This will be one of the first shows I've missed, I think, ever. I missed another one because I was sick. But other than that, I've been to every one, obviously. But yeah, no. I'm glad for him, though. It'll be fun.
Vic asked this maybe jokingly, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Do you know if they'll have grits at concession up in New Jersey?
Dude, I hope so, man. Dude, I butchered some grits last night. Like, I thought they were the instant ones, but they weren't. So then I bit in, it's like sand. Like, I messed it all up, dude. But grits, I don't know if you know I love grits. Grits are my thing. Grits, cheese, butter. I'm not a grits and sugar guy.
I was just gonna ask about that, Chris. Who mentioned the grits and sugar?
I'm not against it. It's just not my thing.
It was one of the last couple interviews, yeah.
Right? I forget who that was.
It might have been John. Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, it was John. It was John P. Because they were talking about they called him Sugar Grits.
Yes.
He gained the nickname Sugar Grits.
Okay.
They like worlds collide. Look at that.
Are you a grits guy? I mean, is that the thing, or any of you grits guys?
I love food, so I mean.
Yeah, I've had him before. I mean, we definitely don't have that a lot up here in PA.
Yeah,
we got other weird shit from the Pennsylvania Dutch up here. Scrapple.
Yeah,
I don't know what that is, but it sounds.
You don't want to know what it is.
Yeah, they didn't have it in the West Coast either. I went to Denny's. Denny's was the only place with grits, man, and they looked at me weird when I ordered them. So
they were like, "We've had this thing on the menu for 10 years.
Yeah,
this is the first guy who's ever gotten it."
Want some of them grits? All right, so one more question from the chat. It's from our VIP Vic. It's one of his staple questions. Who do you think has the best gear of all time?
Oh man, best gear of all time. Oh, that's hard. I'm a sucker for the original Kane stuff. Old Jeff Jarrett. I like some Jeff Jarrett. I like the simple stuff though too, man. Like Daniel Bryan, simple. Like it doesn't have to be too flashy for me. But yeah, jumping in my head, I love the Double J, man. Like you don't see too many people with that type of singlet, like that stuff he had.
Mm-hmm.
The four suspenders that hold up nothing. Yep.
I love it, man. I mean, Undertaker, stuff like that. I mean, those are great, but I'm trying to think of different stuff, man.
Good choices. Vic approves. So that's it from the chat. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate you guys asking questions. And Chuck, back to you, buddy.
Thank you, chat. Thank you, Chris, for jumping in here. So you mentioned Paradigm. Something's going on December 3rd. Is that for the UWFI stuff?
I'm pretty sure that is the UWFI stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you have any other bookings that you can grant us privilege as to hear where people can find you?
Yes,
wrestle?
because NewSouth, December the 18th. That's the only other booking I have. It's the 3rd and the 18th. It is the Dump Sanders Holiday Special featuring Lance Archer and Jonathan Gresham, which we will be announcing those opponents very soon. So
nice.
It'll be fun, man. That'll be a good show. It's our tail end show, right for Christmas. A lot of people usually come out, so we're doing like a toy drive. raise some money for some kids and stuff like that. So it'll be fun stuff. I don't know, actually. I don't think they told me who I'm working yet. See, I own the promotion and I don't even know who I'm working. Like, that's how it works. Like, I don't ever ask. That's another thing too. Like, I guess I don't want to have that stigma of like, hey, I own a promotion. Hey, look at me, I have a match. Like, I don't ever ask for matches. I don't ever ask to like wrestle people. Maybe a couple of times in 7 years of anything have I asked for anything like that. Because I just want to work, man, like everybody else. Like, I'm just trying to hustle, man. So.
Do you just find out like that the day of the
Not
show?
today.
Like
No,
you
no,
show
I mean,
up, you're
no.
putting together the ticket stuff in the front, you know, the dump walks
Sometimes,
by
yeah.
and goes, hey, you're wrestling that guy.
Hey, sometimes it's like that, but I mean, I usually know a few weeks out, you know. So
Not bad.
but yeah, it'll be fun to cap it off with that. So whatever it is.
Definitely. Now you mentioned Gresham. Now
Yeah.
we all know what happened with Ring of Honor. He
Right.
is now starting his own promotion.
That's correct.
Down in Georgia, Terminus.
Correct.
Right.
Him and Baron Black.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, which I'm real good friends with Baron. Baron's a really good dude too. Took his seminar. Great seminar.
So basically what you're saying here is, without actually saying it, is that at some point when Terminus starts going, we're going to see the Locksmith on a Terminus show without you actually saying it.
I hope so. You know, I'm going to do everything I can to try to make that happen. Like, if I can go help set up the ring, do whatever, man. I just want to help, learn from people. So hopefully I can do that this next show. Just be there to check it out. But yeah, that's definitely a goal. I think it's obtainable. But yeah, just work hard, man. That's going to be definitely something I'd like to do next year for sure.
Nice. I think that's when he's starting that whole thing up, first quarter next year and everything. Now, one thing I didn't even touch on, and when we were talking about getting into wrestling and all that kind of stuff, but the nickname. Where did the nickname the Locksmith and also your Twitter handle, Hook and Stretch, where did all of what's the story behind all that?
The Hook and Stretch was my first trainer, man. Like, that was just one of his things he'd always say, man, like hook and stretch. Like, he'd grab a hold, show you how to apply it, you hook the hold, and you apply pressure and stretch it. And, you know, that's what finishes people, you know. That's what finishes the hold. So I was just starting Twitter. Like, I wasn't a media guy. I had Facebook. So I don't have Instagram. So I was like, you know what? Let me get a Twitter. That's the wrestling thing. Just come up with a name. I typed in some. They were already used. So I was like, screw it, man. Hook and Stretch. I know no one's using that. And just went with that. And as far as the Locksmith, I was just trying to come up with something, man, because Brandon Williams is like the most generic, creative character wrestler name ever, boring. And, I had to go by my name because, like I said, I was doing tickets for years. Like, these people know me as Brandon Williams. Like,
so you couldn't be somebody else. Yeah.
If I come in there and say, hey guys, I'm this guy and I do this gimmick, they're just like, no, you're Brandon. I know you, dude. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, I have to use that in my wrestling. So I was like, man, I gotta have something, because I can't just say, hey, it's Brandon Williams. Who? Like, like you gotta have something catchy to maybe they'll remember me, because it's hard.
It's not the most generic name. I mean, that would be like John Smith.
It's close, man. It's like the most used names ever. Last name, first name. So,
WWE comes out with their next game, and the creative character's name is Brandon Williams.
That's correct. Look, backyard wrestling name was Biohazard, dude. Like,
oh, see, I like that.
Yeah, man, it's so lame, but yeah, dude.
Now, now this gets into like character development here. So since everybody knew you, did you ever think about, okay, like, I just don't want to be myself, I'm gonna put on a mask?
At my first ever training match, I wore a mask, and this was probably like 6 months into my training. I went to a show in Tennessee, some kind of fundraiser show, and I was the Scranton Strangler from The Office. So that was the pun on that. Wore a mask, black singlet, Yeah, the entire match was called in the ring. Like none of it was planned. I had to go to separate locker rooms when I got there because my trainer was like, "Oh, I'll see you in the other locker room. See you in the match." You son of a bitch, man. Like, yeah, this is my first match. I'm nervous as hell, and you're just gonna like, we're not even gonna talk about anything. He's like, "Nope." Walked off, and I'm like texting him on my phone, like, "Dude, what are we doing, man? This is my first match. There's like 200 people here for this fundraiser."
Give
I'm
me
like, I don't want
something.
to look like an idiot. So yeah, it was crazy. It went well for a first match. Thankfully it was against my trainer, so I knew kind of what we were doing. But yeah, I've had to adapt, mixing reality and wrestling. That's so
Yeah.
scary. Yeah.
So I know Val, our favorite Val Pancakes, has been in the chat. I don't know if she's
Hello,
still
Val.
here, but
Hey,
for
Val.
Val,
I love
Val, see, Brandon says hi. Val, if you're still here, I'm gonna ask some of Val's pertinent questions. She's still
Okay.
here. She says I am.
Oh,
So Val, I'm gonna ask some of the stack questions just for you. She says hi, Brandon, back from the chat. So one of her questions that she asks is, what is your favorite move to take when in the ring?
favorite move to take in the ring. Suplexes. Suplexes are easy, man. Normal suplexes. Some suplexes suck. German suplexes, they're not my favorite because I'm usually landing on the back of my head. But yeah, suplexes, easy moves, basic moves. If I don't have to bump at all, that's even better.
Yeah.
Ground stuff, sweeps and stuff like that are easy. Yeah, I like sweeps. If it catches me off guard, it's easier to land instead of bracing to land, I guess. If that
Yeah.
answers the question.
So you must have loved the match with Alex Kane then, since
Bro.
he is the suplex assassin.
Yeah, I still got PTSD from that match, man. Like, yeah, like, dude, I've never been suplexed. Yeah, it was a gauntlet, dude. Like, I love Alex. He's an awesome guy. Love that dude. But like, yeah, 9 suplexes, man. Like, bless anybody's heart, dude. For real. Like,
Yeah, right.
beast. Love that dude, man.
So on the alternate side of that, what is your favorite move to do in the ring?
I love the toe holds, man. My ankle lock. Um, any kind of chain technical stuff because it all ties together. It all like has just a lot of moving parts. I mean, it's such a vast ocean, technical wrestling. So I love doing stuff like that. The fisherman suplex is my deal. I've been hitting that lately. It actually looks pretty decent. I'm sticking with that. So the bridging fisherman suplex would be that and the toe hold.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now this isn't particularly a question about you,
Okay.
but you've seen our podcast friend here, Christopher.
Yeah.
You know what Christopher looks like.
Yeah.
Do you think that Christopher would be able to take one of Alex's suplexes?
Oh man. do you think he's up for that?
Do I think Christopher's up for it? No,
No.
hell no.
Is he built a peanut brittle or like what is it? Tell me about this man.
I mean, Christopher,
stout,
played
he's
sport,
not
played
little.
football. He was a baseball player. He played
He's
hockey.
taller than me, man. I'm pretty sure he's taller than me.
Yeah.
From what I can remember.
Chris is like what, 6'1"?
Yeah.
See, Chris, you could take it.
He might could give Alex Kane a suplex, dude. Like, don't put it down around, bro.
There you go, Christopher.
I don't know about that. I'm gonna take that one back. I don't know.
I had to ask that since you were in the ring with Alex, because Alex might have said that he wanted to suplex Christopher. He also might have said he wanted to suplex me over a game of Uno, but that's a whole nother story.
Take the big X-Plex, man.
So I'm gonna butcher this question from Val, but if you had your own wrestling figure, what would the wrestling figure's 3 sayings be And
Right.
what would your extra pieces be for your
Oh,
action
man.
figure?
Man, my saying is locked up, tapped out. That's what I'm going with right now. Other than that, I got my generic "let's go." You know what I mean? I'm just, I don't have too many catchphrases, so I'm trying to work on something, man. Like seriously, that's another thing. Like other than just the name, like trying to come up with catchy stuff, man. Like I try to present myself as a real guy without being boring. Like I know I don't know, that's a hard mix. Like it's got to be, I don't know. I'm trying to find that balance, man. Like
I
trying
get
to
it.
find
And everyone's yelling at me that I forgot the word accessories.
excessive. No, you're good. I was already my chain, man. The chain and lock, the John Cena chain and lock that everybody calls it.
Nice.
That would be an accessory. Yeah, that'd probably be it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now for the last Val question.
Yeah.
I'm going to take you on a journey.
Okay.
It's not just a trip, it's a journey.
Okay.
And you're a hungry man. You go into a diner, you sit down at that table, you get that menu in front of you, and man, the only thing on this menu is pancakes. That's
Look,
it.
I'm in heaven, dude.
From 1 to 100, it's pancakes. That's it. So, how do you take your pancakes?
Normally I'm just a butter syrup guy. Okay. But look, if I'm feeling fresh, I'm gonna get the strawberries. I'm gonna get the chocolate chips. I like to put peanut butter on it. I'm not into like pecans and stuff in pancakes, even though I do like pecans and almonds. But fruity stuff. I'm all about the different flavors of syrup too. The blueberries, the maples, the strawberries. I haven't divvied off into anything really crazy. What's your pancake? What are you about, man?
I am plain Jane. I am butter and
There's nothing wrong
syrup.
with that, man. There's
Butter
nothing
and syrup. That's it.
Real
By the
maple
way,
syrup. Yeah.
yeah. By the way, if anybody goes to Dunkin' Donuts, they're trying to pitch this new mini pancake bullshit. Don't go for it because it is absolutely terrible.
Yeah. I'm not a
Absolutely
big Dunkin'
terrible.
guy, man.
You
I'm
know,
not a big Dunkin' guy. I like Krispy Kreme. I'm a Krispy Kreme rider, dude.
see up north, like Dunkin' just rules all.
I mean, it's good coffee, good. Like the wake up wraps are bomb, but like donuts, a little dry, man.
Small. They're
Yeah,
small.
small, dry, just like I don't know, Krispy Kreme, man. The hot, glazed, original, or a custard or a cream filled. Like, yeah, that's where it's at, man.
Oh yeah,
I'm talking too much food, man. You can tell I'm hungry. Like we've been talking food, donuts. Like, am I even a wrestler, dude? What am I talking about?
After we get done here, Brandon's driving into town. He's going to get some. He's going to get some late night snacks.
Everybody thought I was gonna be talking about wrestling holds and stuff. I'm talking about donuts, Star Wars.
Hey, I love that stuff.
Right.
I love that stuff. Donuts, by the way, man, we have this awesome donut shop here in the town that I live in. It's called Maple Donuts.
Mm.
They make them all locally, and they have probably about like 30 different kinds of donuts, like both like filled and like regular, circle donuts, nothing else on them except like glaze or blueberry cake donuts and stuff. It's, if anybody is ever in Central PA and you're near my area, definitely check out Maple Donuts. It is the bomb.
Oh man, after this week, man, I gotta cut it all out, man. Seriously.
Because you only have a week, right? Before.
Yeah, I'm about to say pretty much just a little. Let me get some water weight off and throw me in there.
Are you sure you want to have Thanksgiving this week?
Dude, like, I wish I would have found out stuff after Thanksgiving because I probably don't need to eat. I probably need to get in the gym and get prepared for these matches. But we're gonna do it, man.
Okay, so my next question.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have any flashy graphics for this yet. We have some sounds. I don't know if Chris is even gonna cue them up for when we do this, but Brandon Williams, are you ready to take on the Wrestlers Feud?
Let's do it, man. Bring it.
He says, bring it on. So the Wrestlers Feud is literally just like Family Feud. I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
I have the top 4 answers
Okay.
on my board here.
Okay.
You get the normal 3 strikes.
Okay.
If Chris gets our little sounds going, please, Christopher, do that. But our question for today is Thanksgiving themed.
Okay.
So, Brandon, name a food you eat at Thanksgiving, but not during the rest of the year.
Okay. Cranberry sauce has got to be on there.
Ding.
Okay.
That is the number 2 answer with 31 people.
Okay. Turkey. What about dressing?
Math.
Dressing's got to be on there.
Dressing is
Okay.
not on the board.
Man, you don't. Turkey. I guess a lot of people don't. Well, yeah. That's a loaded one, man. If we're talking about turkey sandwiches, that's one thing. But man, carved turkey. I don't know a lot of people that buy carved turkeys throughout the year, man. That's a tough one. Let's go with it. Carved turkey, man. Like butterball turkey.
Carved turkey is
Oh, come on. That's
not
one time a year.
on the board.
Man, this one's hard, man. Because I eat everything like all the time. It seems like
Right?
mashed potatoes can't be it. I'm hitting that every time I go to a buffet.
You have 1 strike left.
Dang, man. Sweet potato casserole. You give me the DX, man.
I am going to give you that one. That is a correct answer.
Okay.
Coming in at number 4
Okay.
with 7 points.
Okay.
Yams / sweet potatoes.
Okay. Okay.
We're going with that correct answer.
Oh,
So we
man.
got two left on the board. We have 1 X left.
Oh man, that was hard coming up with that one. I know it's probably not going to be on there, but a staple at my family is deviled eggs, man. And we usually don't do that around. We do that Christmas and Thanksgiving. I don't really get it. Other than that, you a deviled eggs guy? Do you even know what I'm talking about?
I love deviled eggs.
Okay, good. Okay.
I love deviled eggs.
I'm
there with you.
It's probably not up there. My mind's going blank.
Unfortunately, deviled eggs is.
I gotta hear this, man. It's probably gonna be right there, and I'm an idiot.
Not on the board. So you had the number 4, which was yams / sweet potatoes with 7 people.
Okay.
Number 3, pumpkin pie.
Okay. Probably because I don't eat it. That's why I didn't think of it.
Yep.
Not there.
With 18 people. You got number 2, which was cranberry sauce. 31 people said cranberry sauce.
I gotta hear this first one.
And coming in big
Can't be ham.
at number 1.
Can't be ham.
For number 1 on the board with 43 people saying this answer. Gravy.
What? Oh, you're not from the South, dude.
Gravy was the number 1 answer.
Oh man. What? I'm a mashed potatoes gravy, dude.
Yeah.
But okay. I'm with it. The pour and the whole gravy. That's a dish grandma's dish you only use once a year.
At Thanksgiving, you always have gravy, but I mean, how much do you use gravy outside of Thanksgiving?
A lot, dude.
See, I don't personally.
Country fried steak, mashed potatoes. There's some gravy and like pot roast stuff.
Mm-hmm. It all depends where you are. Pot roast will always have gravy with it.
Some good. We're not talking about biscuit gravy, but we got gravy like that, man.
Ooh.
Chocolate gravy.
Too many gravies. Okay. We're getting down to the end here. Thank you for playing the Wrestlers Feud. I appreciate it, sir. I know it's Christopher's most hated part of the interviews that I do. He would much rather have me do something else.
All
But
right.
you want to know what,
Christopher.
Chris? Suck it. So I'm giving you a DeLorean from Back to the Future to go back in time to talk to your 10-year-old self. What are you instilling and telling your 10-year-old self?
Oh man. I would say get into wrestling, stick with wrestling, and get with the right people. That's a big thing. I wish I would have started it a little bit younger and like taking it serious and stuff like that. But just staying goal driven. I've been married, divorced, and remarried again. So like I've had a lot of life experiences. Like that's a big thing. Like there's a big chunk of my years that it's like, man, what was I doing? Kind of thing. Like so yeah, just like staying mentally stable and calm. Yeah, for sure. Because I was a little unstable there with my teens and like 20s. I was a real hothead. Stuff like that. So yeah, I've calmed down a lot.
See, now you saying that, I would not picture you like that.
Yeah, yeah, I've mellowed out for sure. Yeah,
I like to think that I've mellowed out, but from what a lot of people say, I really haven't.
I think we all mellow out a little bit getting older, man. It's just one of those life things.
Yes.
I'll be 36 in March, so I'm not terribly too old, but I'm old-ish, especially for wrestling. Like that's another thing too. Like, you know,
Yeah.
starting wrestling at 33, you know, you get a lot of looks and what are you doing? You know, especially when I'm a bartender. You know,
who brought the old guy?
Yeah, who's the old guy? Why are you wrestling? Get a real job. You know what I mean? Like yes.
Okay, so you mentioned bartending, and I meant to touch on this earlier when we were talking about outside of wrestling stuff. What's the weirdest drink you've made for somebody?
Like the grossest drink is like a jalapeno pickle margarita. Like I've only made one of these. Like lots of jalapeno juice and jalapenos and the sweet and sour mix and the tequila. Like it was disgusting, man. Like I'm a daytime bartender, so I work during the day in a downtown where it's filled with a lot of businesses. So it's not like a big drinking scene, but mostly margaritas, Bloody Mary, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, those crazy ones will pop up every now and again during the daytime.
Jalapeno margarita.
Yeah, not with it. It sounds like it'd be, jalapenos, margaritas should kind of mix. Maybe I wouldn't with it.
No.
No. Don't try it. I'm not gonna do
that. I don't want to try that. I like margaritas, and I don't want to try that.
Yeah, and I'm not a big drinker. Like I don't drink much at all. So it's crazy being a bartender. I guess that's why they hired me. So
there you go. Since I moved to Pennsylvania, I think I could literally count on one hand how many times I've actually drank.
Yeah.
In Pennsylvania, like now I've gone away with like the guys and have had drinks there, but like at home, like going out around here, I don't do any of that. I like never drink anymore.
Me neither. I can't remember the last time I got toasted, dude. Like drunk. Like no.
It's no fun anymore. Being 43 it's no fun. Man.
It's sad. Like that's what, like if it's not a celebration, it's sad, dude. Like,
yeah. If you're at a wedding, I'm good. Yeah. We're at a wedding.
There's an occasion. I'll drink a little bit, and you can get tipsy, but I'm not getting knocked out drunk like I was at 19 years old, man.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I'm not reliving those college days.
Yeah, now. I can't imagine what a hangover feels like at my age. Because it felt shitty at 19, dude. Like at 20.
Hell yeah. They always say like if you drink it, whatever you drink, if you've gotten sick on whatever it is, like I can never drink that again. Right. I took a shot of tequila and I'll never do it again because I got so sick. I'm like, fuck that shit. I'm like, I think I puked on almost every single thing except beer that like I've drank, like tequila, vodka, whiskey. Like I'm still drinking it.
Yeah, I've had terrible moments, man, like with alcohol. Dude.
That's
Stay away
all,
from it.
yeah. Anybody who is underage in the chat or right around it,
Yeah.
just stay away from
Even
it.
if you're overage, just don't do it, man. Like, just don't do it.
Yeah.
Do other stuff.
The Bald Monkeys account says band drunk is greater than just regular drunk.
Okay.
And Gia says she's had her shots and her boosters.
Okay. That is good, though. That is, hey, real talk, that is good.
Okay. Brandon, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you, man. This was fun, man. First podcast.
Yes, thank you for
Hopefully I wasn't
letting
too boring.
us.
Sorry, awkward and boring. Hopefully not. I tried.
I don't think so. I mean, and honestly, if anybody in the chat thinks so, I'll come beat you up. So you'll have to worry about hothead Chuck, and that's never a good thing.
Hey, don't make me go back.
That's never a good thing. So thank you for joining us tonight, Brandon. Where can everybody find you on your one social media platform of
Facebook.
Twitter?
Facebook. You can add the real Brandon Williams. It's my real name. It's my shoot name. Or you can add me on Twitter, which is Hook and Stretch. And yeah, just keep up with me through there, man. I'm trying to get out there. So help me out.
The road to 1,000. Hashtag the road to 1,000.
200 more. It's not a lot. I can do it.
We can do it.
We can do it.
Old bad guy, don't worry. We're getting to the Oreo question. It's coming. I do not forget that question. We want to get the little stuff out of the way. So, Brandon, do you also have any merch or any merch sites?
I don't have any merch sites. I go through my buddy who is also the vocalist for my band. He makes our t-shirts and all that stuff. So I just put in orders to him. So I'm trying to get some money to get a new order.
Cool.
But yeah, I'll have some new stuff. I'm working on some stuff for January, a new long sleeve. So
nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, since everybody's panicking that I'm not going to ask the cookie question,
oh, we got it.
We're here. It's a simple question, sir. It's talking about Oreo cookies. There's two styles that we're mainly looking at, and it's single stuff Oreos or double stuff Oreos. Where are you on this question?
Look, if you could ask me, I would go with the most stuff, dude. That's how much of a cream guy I am. Double stuff all the way. If I had to choose, man, like, don't get me wrong, Oreos, any Oreo is good. The mini Oreos, the vanilla covered Oreos. I'm not into this weird Oreo stuff. The new wave of new Oreos, some of them are disgusting. But yeah, double stuff over classic. My granddad.
That is
yeah.
The right question. That is the right answer.
Yeah.
It is also the only question that means anything, apparently, to anybody in the chat here, as they're literally
double stuff or regular.
They're literally just flooding with our Bald Monkeys double stuff emotes in the chat. So
hey,
that is the correct answer. It is the only answer. I'm glad you didn't even mention the thins in anything that you said.
I have a soft spot for the lemon now.
Oh, see?
And the golden. But we're talking classic, man. We'll stick with that.
Yes. Yes. Perfect. Brandon, once again, sir, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I have had a great time. I hope you've had a good time. I believe everybody in the chat has had a good time.
Yeah.
Don't forget to follow Brandon on Twitter at Hook and Stretch.
Yeah.
Find him on Facebook if you want. He's over there. Make sure to follow us if you're not already. Brandon has 2 dates left this year, December 3rd for Paradigm and December 18th for New South. But be on the lookout for a busy, hopefully busy 2022 for Brandon.
Oh, no doubt.
Christopher, are we rating somebody? Okay. Everybody, Brandon, stay around for 1 second. We're going to go back into the green room.
Okay.
Everybody, thank you so much for joining us in the chat tonight. It has been a pleasure. This has been the Captain's Quarters. We are going to raid DJ Ansi. And don't forget to come back tomorrow night with Val as she has Landon Hale. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful night. Tomorrow night, 9 o'clock, The Stack. We'll see you then.